People and magic makers, Destiny here on this magical Monday. Man, I have missed y'all. It has been a crazy, amazing past 2 weeks. And thank you so much for those of you that checked up on me last week. Everything is fine, everything is good. My husband and I have decided that we're going to be moving to Texas soon. And so we took a trip down there to check things out. And it was a long drive back. And I was just like, whew, needed some time to recuperate, right? But this is what led to this beautiful video, because I put out the post last week saying, hey, it was being canceled. And it was so interesting the perspective that different people had on what was going on. So I wanted to talk about perspective this week and what tends to happen and why. So, like I said last week, put up the post, not gonna do a Magical Monday video, giving myself some time to just chill and relax and get back into my creative flow. And I had people like reach out like, are you okay? Are you all right? Which was very sweet and very lovely. And I'm over here like, yeah, everything's fine. But this is the perspective, because they didn't have the whole picture and the whole story. And all I had said was, hey, I'm not going to have a video this week, right? It wasn't enough information for them to know if what was going on. And so their perspective had them choose into, oh my gosh, something must be going on, right? Now, other people were like, yeah, right on, take some time off. Good for you. You're a business owner. You can do that, right? So that was so interesting to me that some people were like, yeah, right on, go for it. And others are like, are you all right? And it all boils down to perspective, right? So for some people, the way that they were raised, the way that they were brought up, the way that they check in on people is from an "are you okay, how you doing" kind of standpoint, right? For other people, they're just like, all right, right on, cool, go for it, like do that thing. And when we look back on it, there is a belief system. Now, it may or may not be a BS story, but there's a belief system that causes that reaction, right? So remember when we did the tree, this was a while back, but we have like the reactions and our actions and our behaviors up at the top of the trees and the leaves, right? I'm sorry, the results of what we do are the leaves, and then the branches are our behaviors and our actions. And so when you take a look at how people react, or how the result of their actions, right? So we're watching what they do, and we can actually see it now. It's not hidden anymore. We're like, nope, I see what you're doing. I see what's going on for you. What we can do is ask why. Why is that, right? So if you think about this, have you ever had a conversation with someone and they start talking and you're like, huh, I didn't think about it that way, or that makes so much sense. I didn't see that. It's because of perspective. We're in the thing. We're in the situation or the problem or the issue, right? And they're on the outside looking in. And this is why it's so important to have that person in your life that is the outside looking in, because sometimes our brain, based off of our belief stories and sometimes our bullshit stories, creates these thoughts in our mind that leads us to do things that we're like, why the hell are we doing this? Like, this is it just starts getting really, really like hard and irritating and frustrating, and you can find yourself just getting like, oh, why isn't this working, kind of a feeling, right? It's because we're in the problem. Okay? And what we need to do is find someone that can help us not even get all the way out, but just partially out, like just a little hop over, so that we can take a look at this from a different perspective. Now, some people look at this as, you're like down in here and you want to get like a bird's eye view, for example, on your business. And this I see happening so much. And I really wish like it would stop. However, it just hasn't yet. And so when you see people telling you, oh, this is the way you should do it, this is how it worked for me, that's amazing and that's great. And that's not discounting how it worked for them. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. Okay? And so you may have bought course after course after course or tried thing after thing after thing, and it just doesn't work because it was not really the thing that was going to help you. And so getting the perspective from somebody else that's like, that's not really what you needed, right? You maybe you needed something else. And that would have made it easier or better or faster. Or maybe all you need to do is just tweak something in your calendar or tweak something in your scheduling system, and all of this would go away. But getting that outsider's perspective really helps you to determine, is this belief system that I have working for me, or has it turned into a bullshit story that I'm telling myself to prevent me from having what I want? Because that's actually what bullshit stories do. They're preventing you from having what you want to keep you safe, to keep you the same, right? And so what now? What do? This is where you have the opportunity to shift your perspective, right? Go look for that person that is outside of the issue, right? I love doing this with clients where they're like, "Oh yeah, I have to do this, 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 and this." I'm like, "Why? Who said? Do you want to? You probably don't." Right? I had a client that was dead set on getting on Facebook Live. Turned out she hated being on Facebook Live. So why do it? Why? Like, because somebody told her that that's what she needed to do, and it was like, no, that wasn't in her flow. That wasn't in what she wanted to do and what worked for her. So why do it? So finding that person that you can bounce the ideas off of, that you can have check in with you, right? But also making sure that it's not your bullshit stories creeping up and preventing you from getting what you want. See, because I have other clients that are like, yeah, I want to do a Facebook Live, and they just need something removed, something switched, something changed, and then they're like, heck yeah, this is the best thing ever, right? So being able to determine the two and moving forward, that's the next step for you, right? Check out your perspectives. What are you hung up on? What are you like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, I don't know why they're doing that. Put yourself in the other person's shoes first to see, like, okay, if somebody's doing something you don't really like why could they be doing that? It's not always just because they're an asshole. I know that's what we like to think. It's the simple, easy thing to think, but that's not always the case, okay? But then also when it comes to yourself, get that outside perspective. That outside perspective that can really help you just break through, okay? I would love to hear from you. What perspective do you want to shift? What is it that you want to now get outside of or get a bird's eye view of to push yourself and move yourself forward in a way that feels good to you? Go ahead, comment below. I would love to have a conversation with you about this. Until next time, peace.